It's a great honor to be deep in Florida, the Florida Everglades, to open America's newest migrant detention center. It's incredibly built, and you're seeing that yourself. That's why I said, let the press join us on our walk so they can see what's happening. It's known as Alligator Alcatraz, which is very appropriate because I looked outside and that's not a place I want to go hiking anytime soon.
Oh, but only if he'd try. In any event, that was 2 months ago. And he was super excited about like, oh, some migrants might get eaten by alligators. That's really exciting. And it looks like the chances are going to drop soon because a judge has actually gotten involved and it is going to be shut down. Or at least this potentially provides for us, Brett, an opportunity for Trump to just decide he doesn't have to listen to judges literally at all. Because a judge ordered yesterday, no more detainees can be sent there, okay? And it's gonna have to be dismantled, both because of complaints from some of the native organizations in the area, but also potential environmental harm. So they have 60 days to move out all the detainees, remove the fencing, the lighting, the power generators, other materials. You can't do any additional construction. And they say that they're going to appeal, and we'll see. I don't know why the Supreme Court wouldn't save him, but at least for now, a judge has said that while she is very deferential to the administration on the need to deal with immigration or whatever, they haven't established at all that they need to have this site because they can't. You cannot make a case that it's needed. You can only make a case that we think it's cool. We hate these people. We want them to be ripped to shreds by animals. That's the only reason, and it's not as convincing in court as it is on Fox News. So anyway, it could be appealed, Brett, but for right now, this is good news. What do you think?
Cruel and unusual punishment is unconstitutional. To say that you want people to be ripped apart by alligators as the main selling point is cruel and unusual. And specifically, like not actually seeming to care whether the people you're sending to this facility fit the rubric of the kind of person who should be sent to a facility like that, minus even if there weren't alligators, right? And like, I don't know, I like, when I was a kid growing up and I heard about Alcatraz and it was like they had sharks around it, I thought that was cool. I was also 9. Yeah. I am now a grown person. I do have Goonies on my hat.
You do.
But I don't have either of the things that are and I'm also not the president of the United States. And I don't like to be the killjoy who's like, don't have fun. But I am the person who's like, don't be so sad and embarrassing that you're wearing, in the 2 clips we played in the show so far, a hat that says Trump was right about everything and Gulf of America.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I like a stupid trend because I get to see who is stupid. This hat is that trend. Supporting that is the trend. Trumpism is that trend. I'm sad that the trend is so popular, but I am heartened by the fact that the more ridiculous stuff he does along these lines, the worse his approval rating gets.
Yeah.
Because you could take your hands off the handlebars if you're good at riding a bike. In this metaphor, riding a bike is being president of the United States. And he, despite having more experience than most people at it, having done it before, he's sucky at riding this bike. And he's taking his hands off the handlebars and he's crashing into Alligator Alcatraz and the Epstein list. And that's it.
Yeah.
Luckily, he's got so much padding.
Bulletproof vest, I'm sure, is what you're referring to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm only gonna say one more thing. I just like, again, this is important to me, might not be important to you. I like trying to summarize what this administration is. And it's that they think, and are doing, this isn't just a thought, they're doing. They think that if you are a migrant who makes a mistake with your paperwork, you should be eaten by an alligator. And Ghislaine Maxwell should be playing with puppies. That's what they think. They think child sex predators should be off in a resort. And someone who was selling empanadas and didn't have their paperwork in order, or might have even had their paperwork in order, should be ripped to shreds in a swamp. That's who these people are. Anyway, one might think that the word evil is not used enough. But let's jump into a related topic. The Trump administration is apparently so desperate now to increase deportations that they're asking for the civilian employees of the Pentagon to just volunteer to deport people. And we'll see if it works. It doesn't seem like a great job, but here's how they're trying to make the pitch. So they did this job listing requesting literal volunteers to enter a volunteer force supporting both ICE and Customs and Border Protection. They emailed all of these different employees, literally hundreds of thousands of them, and they said they want them to participate in details with DHS to do internal immigration enforcement. And you might think, okay, I mean, you're working in the Pentagon. It's like we're supposed to believe it has something to do with national security. That makes sense. But like, think about what they're asking them to do. You're gonna be 75% of the time or more, you're gonna be outside of your home area. Where you get sent, you have no say over whatsoever. Once you sign up for this, they can send you anywhere in America if they want to. And there's nothing you can do about that. It's not negotiable. And it does apparently include a salary, but I don't know, like it doesn't seem like the best money, $25,000 to $191,000 annually. But obviously you're only gonna be getting a portion of that because you're not gonna be out for that long. You might end up getting a portion of $25,000. And they say some of these areas might require austere conditions, like just staying like, I guess, right on the border or something. I don't know. But this just seems a little bit desperate. And remember, they've been promoting massive cash bonuses for people to sign up for ICE. They're willing to dispense with your student debt. They're giving you all these benefits, all this money in cash and all that. And evidently it doesn't really seem like it's working because now they're asking for people to just put down the pen and go pick up an AR or whatever and head to the border. Seems a bit desperate, Brett. What do you think?
Listen, if you gave a crap about America, you wouldn't want to get paid for this stuff. You would go straight out there. And if you really, really cared, you wouldn't bring clothes. You would take what God gave you and you would naked and unafraid it at the border, at the frontier between here and Mexistan. And that's what so if you do take this job, you might think you're being a patriot, you're not. If you have a volunteer position and you're getting paid for it, you do not have a volunteer position, by the way. You have a job.
Yeah.
And I love that they're like, so some of these positions, like you get 25,000. But no, they're like, you have a $191,000. Pretty great, right? But you could be as low as 25,000. That's like when Geico says could save you up to 15% or more on car insurance. If I plot that out on a chart, I could possibly get zero that I save on car insurance.
Yeah.
And like, I love the idea of doing this because picture what the feelings must be like for the people who volunteered. It's gotta be not too dissimilar from that dude who like ended up in the Russian military because he hates America so much. When brought his kids from Austin to Russia to the military or whatever. Where you're like, it's like driving to Vegas in swingers. We're like at the beginning, like we're going to Vegas. But then when you're out there in the middle of the desert, exhausted and unprotected from the elements, you realize what a stupid idea you just had. John.
Yeah, no, it's they know who they're trying to bring in at this point. I mean, to some extent, they're just trying to get desperate people. Like, we'll give you money or whatever. But then, they'll put up a tweet and they're like, join ICE, defend your culture.
That's horrifying. Like, that's thoroughly disgusting.
They literally did that. I mean, but
like
don't call it identity politics or anything.
Designer without emo boss. It's like.
Anyway,
it's like camo Nazis.
I know. We all know what this is about.